My name is Charlotte Weddle, and I am here to do my presentation on my IPP, which is an integrated practice project. So the SMART goal for this project that I chose is related to the topic which I chose as fall prevention. And so what I've decided is that by the end of Module 6, I will have completed the project. I will have presented to a group of coworkers the PowerPoint presentation and a brochure. By Module 4, I will have tested and given the presentation to at least 5 of my coworkers. They'll be administered a pre-test and then a post-test in between the PowerPoint presentation, which is going to be based on evidence-based practice, and that is going to be done by Module 4. The reason I'm doing this is because the DON of my company had told me that we were having an increased number of fall risk. So the SMART objectives, which are also considered proposed action plan, is going to be based on the QC competency of the skilled learning objectives. So to start off with Module 1, I went ahead and I met with my DON, and we worked together as a team, and we collaborated on some things that we thought needed to be in my PowerPoint presentation. So using the QC competency of evidence-based practice, I gathered on the computer 3 articles that I could go ahead and use as my information for the PowerPoint presentation. I decided that I was going to be doing a pre-test and a post-test with the PowerPoint presentation. On the PowerPoint, we were going to talk about fall risk, it was going to have risk factors, and it was going to be interventions. During Module 2, the competencies that I was focusing on was patient-centered care, safety, and informatics. I was going to design a brochure using the informatics in gathering the information from the evidence-based practice for the brochure, and it was going to be, again, on fall preventions. It would go ahead and focus on statistics and risk factors and interventions that would help out. Also in the PowerPoint presentation, I would be focusing on a case study that came from the evidence-based practice information that I gathered off of the computer. The patient-centered care is focusing on fall prevention and helping keep patients from being more at risk for falls. And then this was at this point that I also made the pre and post test. Module 4 was when I went ahead and I also did some more collaboration and met as a team with my supervisor and asked her feedback on my PowerPoint presentation. My goal was to have 5 coworkers, and I actually had 7 coworkers with me. I administered the pre-test and then I collected it. I did my PowerPoint presentation on fall prevention, and then I went ahead and I administered the post-test to the coworkers. I gathered those up, and then this is when I went ahead and I handed them out the brochure. And so when we went on to Module 5, which the QC competency for that is considered quality improvement. And so the test scores, because we're wanting to improve the quality of the information that we taught to the coworkers on the PowerPoint presentation. The pre-test showed that they had a passing rate of 87%, and when they took the post-test, they had a passing rate of 100%. So the scores went higher from 87 to 100%, showing that the QC competency was adequate, that there had been evidence-based practice, had been presented, and the education had been learned by the coworkers. So that was a positive change for this fall prevention. In Module 6, which was the last module, I went ahead and I met with my supervisor, and we went ahead and we looked at the presentation, and she provided me feedback. So we worked together as a team and we collaborated, and that is one of the QC competencies. Also focusing on safety, which is one of the QC competencies, because the most important thing is that we provide safety to the patients and to the families, and also that the coworkers know information about that. My DON asked me if I would go ahead and provide it to the rest of my coworkers at the next staff meeting, and I agreed to. Thank you.